Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to talk about the Proler Steel Plant. It supplied scrap steel to the Precipitation plant that was up in Lead Mine. So stay tuned. Proler Steel Plant. I want to start this YouTube video with a special thanks to James Belmont. He is a local train photographer. Some of his pictures are in this video. But more than that, his photographs are now an important historical record of past times. His two photographs we have the Proler Steel Plant are the only ones that I know still exist. So thank you, James Belmont. Proler Steel Company was an independent company built to supply Kennecott Copper's Precipitation plant with scrap steel, mostly in the form of tin cans. At the Proler Plant, tin cans pass through an open flame to burn off tin coating, solder, and any other foreign matter to produce raw steel. This raw steel was used in the leaching process. The leaching process had been going on for a long time at Bingham, changing and improving over time. Early miners found that by putting copper-enriched water in barrels with still, over time the acid copper sulfate solution would dissolve the still. What was left was copper. Now there were different leaching plants around the mine and at Magna. In 1929, Utah Copper built a large leaching plant at the mouth of Bingham Canyon, a place called Lead Mine. Lead Mine is just past the community of Copperton. Here they'll build a long building to house leaching vats where they could place scrap steel and the copper-enriched water. At the time, the building was in the Guinness Book of World Records, being the longest building in the world at 1,520 feet long. The leaching process was always improving. The Kennecott Research Center developed a new type of cone precipitator. 2 patents were filed September 12, 1962 and April 3, 1963. They were approved in 1966. These new cone precipitators were fed scrap steel with a conveyor. 3 pounds of steel would make 1 pound of copper. March 1966, construction started on the Proler Steel Plant. It was located up from the junction of the Old Bingham Highway and the Lark Highway. Proler Steel International was a scrap recycler out of Houston, Texas. The scrap tin cans would arrive at the Proler Plant by rail car, back then serviced by the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad. After processing, the raw steel would be reloaded once again into rail cars for the trip up to the Precipitation plant at Lead Mine. Notice this James Belmont photo taken October 17, 1986. It shows a loaded train leaving Proler Plant with scrap steel, still smoking from the open flame process. The Proler Company leased 14 acres from Kennecott Copper Corporation. It was located at 10,200 South, 7,200 West. According to the Brightwater Group, the Proler facility operated from 1966 to 1988. Proler vacated the property in 1993, after which cleanup took place at different times, mostly by removing soil. This October 10, 1986 photograph by James Belmont shows a scrap train heading for Lead Mine and its precipitation plant. Note the B on the hillside, and they are still using a caboose. The Proler Steel Plant closed at this location in 1988. I'm not sure who processed the scrap steel after they moved. Later photographs showed scrap steel being delivered to the Precipitation plant. Here's an October 3rd, 1993 James Belmont photo. The train is approaching the P plant, or the Precipitation plant. Then, taken on the same day, the train is picking up empties after dropping off a load of scrap steel. The Precipitation plant closed fall 2000, ending the rail service to the mine. So just a short history on the Proler Steel Plant.